Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everyone, to another mini episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's an eraser and a shooter with me tonight?
None other than the secretary himself, Adam from Talk Games Chew Bubblegum.
What I should have said is, who got my racer in my shooter? You got your shooter in my racer. But that's more accurate of what I should have done.
It's literally a run and gun. Like
literally.
Yeah.
So we are here to talk about a game that people aren't like, what the fuck if you clicked on this? The Club video game. If you don't add that, you will not find it anywhere on YouTube or the internet easily. Came out in 2008 for PS3, 360, and PC. Developed by Bizarre, published by Sega.
Yeah, it's weird because, looking up some things and just having to put video game in afterwards every time. The Club video game, ending sequences. The Club video game, everything, which makes sense, but...
This is a forgotten game. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was like a day one buy for me, actually. I just really love the premise of it. A run and gun. And it was made by Bizarre Creations, and they had done racing games. So, it had like a nice little feel to it. I loved all the premises of it, and I actually had a lot of fun the first time I played this game.
Okay. I somehow, for some reason, spent $18 on this game at GameStop, which honestly surprises me that I spent that much.
Yeah, because I remember during my days at GameStop, this was easily like the 5 and under game for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one wanted it.
I don't understand why I paid $18. I mean, I must have been in a buy two get one free sale, or like one of those 4 games under 20 are like $10. When they would do those crazy deals and things.
Yeah.
I used to buy so much shit from GameStop. I loved that. That was like perfect for me. I would go every week, walk through GameStop, they'd have sales and all these used 360 games, and I loved it. I loved going through bins, and man, those are the days.
I really do miss those days. I mean, that's how I got my job at GameStop. Like, I was a regular, and then oddly enough, it was 3:00 in the morning at a Waffle House. The store manager was there, and it was around holiday time. And I won't forget this. I'm just eating, and he turns his head and he looks at me and goes, "Hey, do you want to come work for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I went in the next day, started working.
Well, that's good. I applied for GameStop actually around this time, but I worked at Babies R Us for only 6 months of my life. I did. And he's like, "Well, you work for our competitor." I'm like, "I work for Babies R Us. Like, I don't work for your competitor." And he wouldn't even give me an interview.
Wow.
It was like, I'm not going to stay at Babies R Us. I quit anyway. Like, I wasn't going to stay. I'm like, if you give me a job, I'll probably just quit. Like, unless you give me 10 hours, then I'm not going to work here.
Yeah.
But the Club, for those that don't know, is a third-person shooter that is essentially designed like a racing game where you run through levels that have different criterias, and it's all about keeping your score up and you shoot people, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, that's 100% what the game is. Shoot people, you get combo multipliers, you shoot people, you kind of do like little cool tricks to get more points, keep your combo going until you get to the finish line.
Yeah. And it's broken up into, I think it's 8 or 9 different missions altogether. We have these different like sections of areas you go through.
Mm-hmm. Which honestly, playing this game today in 2023, the levels still look really good.
They look fine. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I know I talked about it in our chat before we started recording. So I had a bunch of issues with this, trying to play this game. First, I saw it was on Steam for $3. I bought it on a sale. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play this with Adam because I still remembered, I don't know how many years ago it is now, when you did an episode of Talk Games Chew Bubblegum and talked about I think it was Guilty Pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
And you had mentioned this, and I've always been like, oh yeah, and that's what made me think about this. So I bought it on Steam. Try to play my Steam Deck, doesn't work on Steam Deck. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'll play it on my PC. Wouldn't work on PC either because I didn't know this at the time, but Windows Live, or whatever the hell it is, garbage.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore.
But so you just can't start games unless you do something to get rid of it, right? Or something?
Correct. There's a little, normally like in any game, because I have a few of them on Steam, there will be an FAQ saying, this is how to get rid of the fix.
And so I did that. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just go pull out so I looked to see if I had it on PS3, which is hooked up. I didn't. So I grabbed my 360 copy, got it in. And then I couldn't find a controller that worked because my battery pack were all dead. So I go and grab 2 batteries. Nothing. The controller won't even, they're just done. I had to which I bought months ago. I bought a cord pack, so I had to get a chair, put the cord in, and sit right in front of my TV in order to play this game.
Old school style.
It was a lot of work just to play. I'm like, this is stupid.
Well, and I mean, in your case, at least you were able to play it. I mean, as was I. And
at least I had it still. Like, I've been tempted to sell my collection a few different times, and I'm like, good thing I didn't. I would not be playing this.
But I got to find the fix for mine because I installed it a few weeks ago, played it just to see how it was running. I was like, sweet, it'll run. I'll play it in a few days just to get, for the show. And so when I started it up, nothing had saved. I was like, it's an old game. Maybe I didn't quit out of it right, or maybe I forgot to hit save.
Yeah.
So this morning I was playing through, and I think I got to like level 4, and I was like, okay, I need to eat some food. So like I quit out, did everything, like looked through the menus to see if there was a save. And then about, I was done lunch. I go to play it again, and nothing had saved again. I was like, oh no. So I got to look for a fix for that.
That's just weird that but I'm assuming it's something to do with games with Windows Live somehow.
Yeah,
which I forget about that, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and it was somewhere in a YouTube video they talked about, how that was a thing and that it fucks up a lot of PC games that won't run simply anymore.
Yeah, it sucks.
DRM. I'm assuming it's DRM. I'm assuming that's what it was.
It's something.
That's what it is a lot of times. It's some stupid DRM thing. Like, we don't want people playing our game. I get it, but think about it years later when people buy your game legally and want to play it. Think about it.
And that's what's getting scary. Like, I am starting to buy more physical copies of games again because of issues like this. And now you're hearing stores saying they're going to stop selling physical copies of games soon. And you're like, no, nope. I need to play my games.
I've gone completely digital, and I can't go back at this point. I get where you're coming from. Like, I thought about it, especially when I had to go and grab my 360 copy of this game. But my issue with it now is just that everything from PS2 before is on a little... So I'm like, give it enough time and everything is playable in one way or the other for the most part.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. Like, yeah. With Steam, I feel pretty safe.
Oh,
I mean, I might have looked up a fix had I not just had a 360 copy that I could play.
It's an easy install. So
okay, good. I'll have to do it at some point for other games. I'm sure it will come up again.
Yeah.
I also couldn't log into my account either from my old gamer tag because I don't remember the password anymore.
Oh.
So I didn't care about achievements anymore. I just saw my 105,000 gamer score and went, that's nice. I remember those days. Or maybe 153,000. It's a high number.
Yeah,
for 135.
insane.
I played a lot of games for achievements back then.
I never really got into achievement hunting.
Oh,
and like if I enjoyed the game, it gave me a reason to go back and try stuff, but I was never.
I mostly would just beat a game and get whatever the game gave you just by beating it.
Okay.
Stuff like that. I mean, sometimes I really like a game like Dead Space. I would beat the game multiple ways. Alan Wake, I beat the game on the hard difficulty. But usually I didn't fuck around a whole lot. I loved achievements. But with this game, so the club is like, you have the different snares that you pick where you go to like a different arena. Like one's a warehouse. One's a ship, for example. Yeah. I think one's like an insane asylum or something.
Yeah, like a prison. You have the steel mill.
Yes.
Like the manor house, the bunker, war zone. Yeah.
It's even hard to find, like, I'm trying to look for like a walkthrough just to give me names of the things. I can't even really find it.
I found one. True Achievements. TrueAchievements.com.
Okay. You go to Venice at one point? I played this game in a couple sittings. I played it over a week ago, halfway through it, and then I finished it yesterday. I mean, it's still fun. I mean, it's very straightforward, where it's all about just keeping that kill count. And I'm also not a fan of racing games, and I also don't care about high scores.
Oh, well, so you kind of need to race and get a high score in this game.
Yes. I mean, I still had fun. Like, it wasn't like I didn't have a good time, but I didn't like I'm not a fan of either of those type of genres.
Okay.
And that style of game. Like, I just played this as a shooter. I put it on the lowest difficulty. I just shot people, finished the level, and yeah, that was it.
I mean, yeah, that is basically it. And like I've said it before, and you even mentioned it, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. There's what you're doing. You're right. It's linear. There's really no story to the game at all.
There is a story in quotation that you can't see me doing, but yes.
Yeah. You're in a like underground manhunt game.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you like Twisted Metal vibes because everybody has like their own story and why they're doing it. But yeah, you win and you collect your prize and get your ending.
I saw one. I played as Finn. He's just the guy in a suit that I don't know. I just picked him just because he had average stats. And I like average stats in games.
Yeah, I played as Seeger, but I mean I've played through them all. But yeah, Seeger was who I was playing through with this one.
Okay.
And he was that extreme sports junkie or whatever.
Because I know there's you start out with 6 people, then you get 8 player. You get 2 more as you play through the game. 1 for beating most of the missions, and then 1 for finishing all the tournaments.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be what you're like your convicts or your people that are wanted, and so then you're doing this contest or something of that nature, I guess.
Essentially. Yeah, I mean you have your cop who's trying to figure out what's going on with the club, and you got the guy that just wants to do it for the sport. One's trying to save his family or his city or tribe.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they all have got like a generic story.
I mean, it's a cool game for what it was. Had I been able to play this on the Steam Deck, I would have been very happy. That's why one reason why I approached you. I'm like, oh, this would be easy. I can put it on the Steam Deck. I can just play around here and there, and I'll beat it in no time. And then the Steam Deck went, this game does not work. Which now I know why, because Windows Live.
Yeah.
Windows Live.
But for the most part, though, like I get lost in it, and like the tournaments go by really fast with your typical like time attack, or one of them you're actually running laps around. I
like the laps, and I like the one where you just have to go through the whole place. I don't really like the stand here and kill guys for 3 minutes. I don't like those. The survival ones they're boring because the point of the game is to run. And now you're just standing still, and you can move around the environment and you can get to different locations. But if you don't do it fast enough, you lose because you have to stay within bounds. I did that once. I went to go grab health, and then I saw the timer, and then he blows up because you have a bomb in your head, I guess. Mm-hmm. And you kill so many people. And I was thinking, like, where did all these random people come in for this underground club? Like, one thing I thought was funny, like, here you have a guy in a frickin' with a machine gun and a vest and a helmet. And here you have a guy just wearing shorts with a handgun. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, well, I wonder what he thought. Like, hey, why is that guy wearing all this armor? I just got shorts. Yeah, you're fine, buddy. Don't worry about it. He's got a Gatling gun and a vest. You couldn't give me the vest. He still has a Gatling gun. Nope. He'll be fine. It was just hilarious to me, like little things like that. And I was thinking to myself, like, were you guys all paid then, I guess, to go in this thing and try to kill you? But that doesn't matter. That's not the point of the game. It just went through I mean, it's fun enough and it's short enough. I think it's like a 3-hour playthrough to do all the tournaments or so. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it took me long. I felt like it took me longer because I had to stop at one point when I was playing this again. I was doing the last 4 tournaments. I'm like, I need a break. And I just had to turn it off and walk away because I need to do something. But I can't play a game for a really long amount of time anymore. Like I can, but when and this goes into some of the things you don't like about the club, it gets boring. There's not a lot going on. No. Yeah. Well, for me, gaming is all about progressing and getting those credits. That's my thing. It's completing something. And with this game, I mean, yes, you were able to complete it, thankfully, but it didn't have that. Like, I wasn't having any reason that really felt me pushing forward. I mean, achievement, but I don't care about achievement. So yeah, I would love. This game needs a drastic remaster because this reminds me of something that could be a roguelike. Yeah. That would be phenomenal. Just from the different weapons, different stats and stuff. And I just can't believe how forgotten this game is. Like, even on YouTube, I wanted to watch reviews. There's 3 reviews on YouTube. When you hear this, there will be 4 now, but audio only. But, like, there's nothing out there on this game. I couldn't even find a speed run of this game. Oh, I might have my first world record coming up. I mean, I'm sure there are on speedrun.org, whatever the site is currently, but there's nothing on YouTube, and that's weird. It's usually every game we cover on the show, and there's lots of games we covered on the show, I can find stuff online. This game was very difficult to find, and it makes sense because it came out in the era of the 360 with tons and tons of third-person shooters, so it's kind of just forgotten. Yeah. It even though it did surprisingly well and has good ratings and all that stuff, it is just a forgotten game. Which makes me sad because it was fun. I mean, this game wasn't a game for Mike. It's not a Mike game, but for people who like this type of stuff like you did, it handles well. It has multiple characters to play as, different difficulties to screw around with. If you enjoy chasing that high score, you had leaderboards. Like, And the way it works is that you're all about trying to shoot guys to keep your combo going. Like, it is fun. You get different guns. It's easy to see the ammo. Like, I really even like the little tick when he shoots and you watch the bullets bounce out of your gun. Like, just a little graphic thing, but it was really cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
The skill shots where you have hidden signs throughout each level that you have to shoot, and you get achievements and whatever, and it keeps your counter going. Like, the whole idea is that you also want to be careful how many people you kill in a certain area, so your combo doesn't run out and starts bleeding down, as they call it.
Yeah. Like there is a little bit of skill checking. It's like accelerating and gassing through, or accelerating and braking through curves in a racing game. You need to know when to kill and when to shoot. This is like one of those games where, like, if you're chasing high score, you don't even want to reload, because if you kill someone with the last bullet, you get a last bullet multiplier. And then if you hit them in the head, you get a last bullet headshot multiplier, and it just keeps going. If you do a quick...
I didn't know how to reload, by the way. So never figured out. I just shot until a gun ran out.
Oh, well, it was X.
Okay. Just didn't know how. I was like, I don't care enough. I'm like, I'm on easy. It doesn't matter.
But like, if you quick turn by pressing Y, you do the 180 turn. If you do that and kill someone within a certain amount of time, you get a snapshot kill.
That's cool.
You can ricochet bullets off of certain like metal plates on walls and stuff. So if you shoot those, you get a ricochet kill. And so, especially when you're doing like the laps, you're paying attention to like, all right, my next lap, or at least in my mind, this is what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, next lap, I'm going to throw a grenade here, and then I'm going to, ricochet, kill him. And then I know at that time, 2 more people are going to come up. I'll snapshot them, and then I'll keep these 2 until I get over here, because I know there's a skill or a skull shot or a secret skill shot here that can keep my multiplier going. And I mean, that's insanely how I think about this game when I'm playing it.
Well, because you like racers. I mean, you were actually in the only racing game on this podcast. You were on that episode, Mega Man Battle and Chase. Like,
yeah.
I mean, this game is very much a racer, and I'm not into that, but like, I still had fun, like running through the levels and I was trying to keep my combo up, even though like when you're playing this on casual, you don't need to. Like, I was bypassing them in minutes, real quick. I was gonna say, I know you play games on, easy, but did you try normal at all? No.
Oh, the skill gap gets insane out of nowhere. I
can believe
casual,
that, because well, I didn't, especially for a game like this, I wasn't hiding, I wasn't covering. I mean, there isn't really any, you don't really cover. Like, I was just moving and moving and moving to keep the combo going, and just so I could see this game being brutal on higher difficulties.
It's insane.
But it's cool that it's there for people who want that. Like, I always appreciate a game that lets me pick whatever difficulty in 360 era is really good for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I feel like gaming really tried to be more comfortable for everybody, where we're going to give you lots of difficulties. We're going to give you an easy difficulty for almost every game you're playing, and we're going to help you at least finish every game if you want to.
Yeah.
That's why I love that era and beyond.
I was going to say, and now you even have like God of War, where it's like, you just want to play the story? We'll keep combat very easy for you if you just want to do story.
And I mean, casual was like that for me. There's no story, but I was just able to play through the game, get my achievements, and just have fun and not have to worry about it. And I mean, and the design, the levels are cool. I just got tired of, there's 6 missions for each tournament. So after a while, they get a little boring. More than a little boring, but.
And I mean, like, and for like one race, you'll have different paths and different routes, and there are like shortcuts, if you want to call them that, and they're destructible set pieces. While not a lot, but there are some things that you can see like crumble and break, bell towers, statues.
Oh yeah, if you rocket launch, I didn't use a rocket launcher much.
It only makes sense in like the survivals ones where you're just standing put, like, or if there's about to be a shield guy and you don't have any grenades.
Oh, I just shot him through the face mask for the shield.
Oh, I grenade them. I ain't got time for that. I didn't
even know how to grenade till way near the end of this game. Like I said, I didn't even know how to reload. I never figured it out, and I didn't care. I'm like, I'll just shoot because I didn't really die. I mean, they could just sit there and shoot me. I'd be fine, so it didn't matter. But no, grenade where I would work. I also didn't know how to do the melee either. I never figured out the melee. I didn't bother to care.
I think that was left bumper.
Okay. I didn't need to. I mean, that's the thing. On casual, I was able just to play it, shoot it, and just have fun. And I didn't have to worry about, because again, the game's easy enough on casual that it just let me enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And honestly, even on the higher difficulties, like, unless you really need to get someone out of your face, you're really never meleeing. You just switch over to a pistol or something.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the little, like, each time you open a new tournament, they have a little, like, cutscene talking about, like, oh, this is a warehouse in downtown, wherever, and people don't know what's going on here. And it was cool.
I do like that little, I'm trying to think of like a newscast almost.
Yeah. And I like this idea of rich people putting poor people in to kill other people, like, kill each other. Like, yeah, that sounds realistic. It does, actually.
Well, I'm just going to say this. It has to happen. We just don't know about it. And I think that's a good thing.
Squid Game.
Yeah.
I mean, not real, but like Squid Game made me think. I was thinking of this too. Like, yeah, this is ahead of its time. I mean, yeah, they're not playing, childhood games that are brutal, but it's that same idea. It's a tournament where you're killing people and to survive and win money, I guess.
Hey, I think it is just mostly money. I think you get like a briefcase full of money. I don't think there's anything else.
I know in Finn's ending, he throws a card in somewhere and blows up people.
Yeah.
So that's all I watched. Oh, the endings are I think the endings are on YouTube. Someone did upload, but it's just, again, how hidden this game is on YouTube. Like, it doesn't, nobody talks about, like, this episode's probably not going to do that great, and that's fine, not why I'm doing it. But it's just funny to me, like, this is just that this game is that forgotten. I just found it really weird.
It is weird, especially with that YouTube thing. YouTube should have easily 20 videos of anything that you ever look.
I think so. I mean, if I want to look up prank videos, I'm sure I'll find tons of Jake and Lloyd.
But
Jake and Logan.
But I did find, I mean, there is literally 1 5-minute video with the endings on YouTube, and I think that was it.
Yep, that is it. I saw that. I didn't watch them, but I saw it before we did this recording when I was clicking around to put a video. I like to put a video on of the game while I'm talking, and that was the only thing. There wasn't much. I think this is also, I was watching some video about forgotten games. I think this was mentioned in there too. That made me think about it more. Like, but I mean, it's still fun. It just makes me sad that this isn't on PC. First, I thought, oh, it's EA. That's why it's not there, because EA is an ass. And then it turns out Windows from Live existed and doesn't exist, and that's why this is broken.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to hunt out a PS3 or 360 copy.
It's not expensive.
But yeah, and that's the best part. But because just playing through this episode, or playing through for this episode and then talking to you, I always get the feeling where I'm like, damn it. I just want to do another race real quick. Just have some fun.
But that's your type of game, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, again, this has been in my head. How many years ago was that episode that you recorded?
2? I think it was like 2. So, yeah, it's been sitting there for a bit then.
So, I mean, and it's been in my brain ever since. Same with Alpha Protocol, which is no longer on Steam, by the way. That game got delisted years ago.
Ooh.
I know. It made me sad. I was like, God damn it. I have a copy of it. But I was like, I don't want to play on that. I want to play on my Steam Deck or my PC. But yeah, it's that era. Like, makes me sad when games disappear. But no, just like I'm watching a long play of it and I'm seeing the different maps. And I mean, it was just kind of cool. Like, it was divided and they were different enough that each time, in the way that they would separate it throughout the 6 missions, I thought worked well too. Because, they would try, like, when they do survival missions, they try to put you in different rooms and make it at least more interesting enough. Yeah. And in its own way, tell a story.
And I still get lost in the level. So I was going to ask you, how many times did you get lost or run the wrong way while playing?
Couple. I mean, they have arrows that try to point you in the right direction, but there were a couple times I got a little confused.
Oh, I can't remember what level it was. I think it was Venice. I was literally like, could not find the arrow and was stuck. And I was just watching, like, I had no combo. And I'm like, how do I not know where to go?
It shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it's a game that's, but sometimes it can get a little confusing. They do have stuff a little separated enough, but at the same time, it makes you sad when you shoot a guy and you just see 400 points show up and nothing. There's no multiplier. You're like, oh.
I'll get you going. I'll get you up there to 25 again.
I got almost a 50 a couple times. I was like, I wonder if I get an achievement for 50, but I didn't care enough to actually find out. But I had a few high combos going,
mm-hmm.
And it felt
they rack up. That's part of the reason I like it. It makes no sense whatsoever to kill people and have scores going, but it kind of drives the game a little bit for me. Where you're like, oh yes, another one. It
also made me think of Bulletstorm a lot.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up because
also was in one of your episodes too. I think it might have been that same episode, but I can't remember.
Now we did a full episode of Bulletstorm.
Okay, I think that's why. It might have been one of your early episodes too, and that's why I remember it also.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Kill with style, kill with skill. You get more points.
Mm-hmm. I didn't really care for the last level, the Warzone one, as much. Just I don't know, that one just felt bigger and less and more annoying to me.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
I think I was also kind of getting done with the game.
Yeah, I can see. I was gonna say you get burnt out, especially if you're trying to do this in one sitting. Like you'll be burnt out by that time.
Yeah. Well, that and I got so much shit I have to play for this podcast, so I was like, I gotta get this done. So there was that too. I mean, either way, I wouldn't have played more than what I did just because my whole thing is I like to just finish games. So once the credits, I mean, there's no credits, but essentially you beat all the tournaments, you beat the game, essentially.
That's it. I mean, there's some other game modes where you can kind of do like a custom little thing, and there's other like gun plays where they'll have objectives for you, but it's essentially the same stuff.
And there was an online mode too at one time.
Mm-hmm. I
don't know what it was.
Well, you did have multiplayer as well as like leaderboards for it. I can't recall playing multiplayer, so there was also, as we have mentioned before, that time during Xbox where everything just had multiplayer for no reason.
Had to.
Yeah.
And don't forget multiplayer achievements.
Yeah.
For those achievement whores like me to go, fucking A. That happened a lot. I'll still never forget playing Prey, where I randomly found some guy on a forum and we sat there and killed each other in Prey to get achievements. The only time I ever did that.
That's awesome.
Never again. It was just some random guy on Xbox Live. We're just sitting there, just killing each other, whatever it was for the achievements. And yeah, the 2006 Prey game, for those that think it's those.
Oh, God, 2006 Prey game was so good. It was so good.
That's another game that I don't think it's on PC at all. I think it's...
It's a shame. The remaster or remake of it was great, but I still like the first one.
I haven't played the new one yet, 2017 one. It might be on the show coming up soon, or not that soon, but next year. We'll see. I do want to play it. I've heard good things about it, so I've always I really should play that one day. But no, I mean, and I was also surprised this game never really had a turret sequence. I mean, sure, there's a part where you can pick up a turret, I guess, and use it, but this era loved turrets.
Oh, 100%. There is no reason that there shouldn't, especially in Venice, there should have been a boat section where you just hop on a boat. That could have been the survive thing. You're just on a boat with a turret and having enemies come at you for some, that would have been great.
Yeah, but the levels are so small that they didn't want to make you do that, I guess. But yeah, it would have been kind of cool to go in a circle on a boat and you just have a turret. I would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the era.
It would have broken up the pace a little bit too.
And the guns do feel good. The gunplay, everything, all the different guns I used, everything felt good and felt powerful.
Oh yeah.
The shotgun felt good.
The Desert Eagle, it's one of my favorite guns in the game. It packs a wallop, pretty much one shots anything, and great aim. But there's I was gonna say some of the machine guns, I don't even still to this day, as I'm cycling through them, I'm I don't know what you are. I don't know what makes you better than the next gun I'm about to use.
I mean, they're just whatever you find fun. I mean, they all work. I mean, the idea is that you're picking up ammo as you're running through too, and you'll get different guns. You can switch weapons easily. This is a time before you're locked only two guns. Which I like it, but at the same time, I don't. I like the old shooters when GoldenEye, where I can have all my weapons on me. I don't want to have just the two guns.
Exactly. I want to play how I want to play, and I want to blow up and shoot everything.
Halo is the one that does that, and that's when it gets defined in gaming culture for so long.
Oh, now look where you ended up, Halo.
I haven't played Infinite, but I've heard nothing but good. I have not heard good things about it.
I played it. There you go.
I don't enough to even I'm just I'm good. I'm not a big first person shooter fan, I guess. At least not without a story. And I know Infinite probably has a story, but I dropped off Halo after Reach. You can't. Reach was amazing, and then I was done.
That is the consensus. I was gonna say that's the consensus I always hear.
I never played 4 or 5 or anything after. I just moved on, I guess. Well, my life changed, and I stopped playing. I didn't play many 360 games. That's what really happened. But so I just don't care.
You didn't miss anything.
That's what I've heard. So, but I mean, Club's a fun game, and it makes me sad that we won't see a sequel. We probably won't see a remaster. We probably won't see anything ever again from this. Well, Bizarre is gone, so that's a big part of it.
Correct.
Because they were known for Project Gotham Racing and stuff like that, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like they had another game, and it's driving me insane right now.
I forget why they went out of business. Were they bought out by EA or somebody and shut down? Can't remember. That happened so many times.
No idea.
Okay. They were bought by Activision in 2007, and they went away in 2011.
There you go.
They made their last game was Bloodstone. That's a good game, James Bond 007.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of. So it's weird that you mentioned there will never be a sequel, but there is another game out in the universe that plays and has a very similar feel to this game, where it's arcadey, you're running, you're shooting, you're blowing things up, and you're getting points. And it's a lot of fun. It's 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
Oh. That game is worth money now, by the way.
Is it?
Yes. I'm pretty sure that game is worth money because, licensed games aren't coming back ever. So
Yeah, but
there's nobody out there paying him to renew that license.
That's fair. But you should look it up and you'll be like, oh, this is the club, but with 50 cents.
I have that game, by the way, on 360. Yeah, it's $60 right now.
Wow.
And $40 just for the disc. Yeah, that game is not cheap.
Okay.
So, licensed games, baby, they get expensive.
Fair.
You can't, nobody will re-release them. I mean, this isn't licensed, but this just, with a studio doesn't exist anymore, and Sega probably don't give a shit, so they probably don't even have anything of it anymore. I mean, at some point, 360 emulation will be there where I'm sure a lot of people then will find this in emulation in years to come and play it.
And that would honestly be Steam, if you get the fix working, that's a great alternative. But yeah, we're right around the corner from that emulation.
That's probably when my 360 collection goes away.
Oh.
At least some of it. Stuff like this.
Okay.
I mean, there are certain things I wouldn't part with, but some of these things I'm like, I got rid of a bunch of my sports games at one point. I'm like, I don't need I don't need MLB 06, 07, 08, 09 that I never played, but I bought for $1 for achievements. I don't need these anymore. So.
All right. Now I understand your achievement questing. If you're buying,
bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're buying MLBs just for $1, just for achievements, that is.
I didn't play them, but I bought them. I just was collecting. I was obsessed with collecting. So I would buy everything for cheap back then.
See, and I know I was mentioning, like, I buy all my games. Like, I try to now physical. But my PlayStation 3, 4, 5 library is, I probably 800 some games. Because I'll go through the sales once a week and be like, oh, well, this is $3. I'll never play it. But if I decide, and same with Steam. I've gotten better with Steam, but it's still bad. Yeah.
I'm like that with Steam. Every week I look, or multiple times throughout the week, I'll look at Fanatical bundles and Humble bundles and just see what they have, and then be like, oh, I don't own these. Also, my whole thing is if I buy a bundle with other stuff I do have, then I have keys to give away in the show.
Correct.
So that's kind of become my thing now too, where I'm like, okay, I'll get a couple of games for cheap I don't have, and I'll get games I already have. Like, then I have stuff to give away every week for the show. So,
I'm gonna have to send you my list of.
Yeah, if you got codes you don't want, I'll gladly give them away. So.
Oh, I've got probably 70 right now. So.
Feel free. Whatever you don't want, just send to me, and I give away I'm trying to give away every main episode. I give away a code. I still got a few because I keep buying bundles.
All right. Yeah, I'll send over some for you.
I'm just glad this game is on Steam. So, I mean, besides the stupid workaround, people are able to experience this game.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Go ahead.
It's probably not the same, though, because I doubt the leaderboards are working if the Windows Live is gone. I mean, there's no leaderboards in it anymore for anybody, so there's no.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't play online or anything like that with it.
Which is too bad for this game. I mean, I'm surprised there's no spiritual successor of this yet.
Well, I guess the closest we got is 50 Cent.
Which is, I mean, like, I'm surprised nobody has looked at this and said, hey, we're going to make a game like this in today, like an indie game.
Oh, it would be a great, honestly, and I hate saying this, I think it would be a great cell phone game. You just kind of put it like in the Mario Kart realm where like you automatically move and then you're just shooting.
Like Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah, I think you would have a really fun game. But
I'm sure there's games like that, by the way, on mobile. I'm positive. I mean, there's a GTA clones on mobile. Every time I see my son, he plays GTA clones, and I'm just like, and he's happy. I'm like, man, I can't believe this stuff is on a phone, like, and it looks like it looks better than GTA 3 and Vice City. I'm just like, man, where was this when I was younger, huh? Oh,
have you played any of the Final Fantasy VII one yet?
I downloaded it, looked at it. It started to give me a long tutorial, and I uninstalled it and said, I don't want it. I don't have time for this.
Oh, yeah. No. Cell phone games should not look that good. It's insane.
I've seen it, but I've already sold my soul to one mobile game, so I can't play others because I'm a Marvel Snap devotee.
That's fair.
Marvel Snap owns me, apparently. I'm finding out every so often when they put bundles on it and I spend money. I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Here's $10, Marvel Snap. Thank you. So, all right. Anything else that you want to say about the club before we go on to Shelf Stacker Box?
It's fun. I like it.
Okay. Then why don't you go first, since this essentially was your pick?
It's a stack. I even mentioned I want to go get another copy just so I can play it regularly. It's fun. If I don't know what to play, I have a bunch of games, or if I need to kill 20 minutes somewhere, I can pop this in, and you're going. There's no long intro cutscenes. There's no story to be told. There's no dialogue. You're just gun, shoot, end. And for me, it's a stack, and I can have fun with that.
Okay. It's about $10 on eBay at the time of this recording in October of 2023. So that's not bad for 360.
No, not bad at all.
It's also funny when you search this game, Midnight Club and everything else comes up first in this game. You have to like kind of like click stuff for this game. So I find that funny. Okay, now I'll go next. I've been kind of torn between stack and the box, but you know what? I had some fun, so you just go in the box. I mean, I still had fun, but I'll never touch this game again. But I am glad that because of you making that episode all those years ago, you planted the bug in my head, and then I was like, I want, and I never finished it. Like I started it back in the day. I played it. It wasn't a really cool. It wasn't like a third-person shooter that got my attention that I really liked, and I just put it down and just never got back to it. Unfortunately,
that happens.
Yeah. Usually, I'm good about finishing games though. Usually, if I start a game, I mean, even back then when I started a game, I finished a game. But I don't know. I think I just wasn't into it, or again, I wanted to see what achievements I already had, but I couldn't get my profile to load, and I wasn't concerned to. Yeah, that's gone because that email just doesn't exist anymore. So
yeah, you're not getting that back.
I mean, I could figure out the password, but it used to be my phone before my phone got reset.
Oh, okay.
So it's gone. Yeah, I'll never get it back. There's no way to reset it. It's gone. I know that for sure.
You might be able to jump through a hoop somehow, but
I just was like, whatever. I mean, one part is kind of like, all those games you bought, Mike, are gone now. But at the same time, like, I don't even know if I'll even go back to Xbox ecosystem again anytime soon.
You don't need to.
So I'm in Steam.
Well, and then, I mean, if you have like the Xbox Game Pass on PC, you're getting all the Xbox games on your PC. So
yeah.
But you need a powerful PC. So it's a give and take thing.
Which I have a pretty good PC. All right. I think that's everything for the club. So yeah, if this sounded interesting, play it. Download it get it on Steam and Google the workaround, which you shouldn't have to do, but welcome to PC gaming and play it. It's fun. I mean, I don't think greatly of, but it was fun. If you're into that, especially if you're into that stuff, if you're into a game that you really like chasing a high score, even though you can't show it off to anybody anymore, this is the game for you.
And I think you said it best. You're going to have fun.
All right. And Adam, where can people find you, hopefully?
Oh, I'll tell you more about this when we get off here, but you can find us at Talk Games Chew Bubblegum, and probably by the time this airs, we'll have some episodes up.
Okay, good. This will be early 2024.
Then we'll have some episodes up.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, there's over 500 other episodes of Games My Mom Found. You find everything we do on Podbean. We do games, movies, comics, TV shows. Go look at our giant catalog. Type in anything you want to search. You never know. We might do it. We did this game. Who knows what the hell is on the show? Just type in something to find out. Condemned is on the show, for God's sake. So, God, there's weirder shit on the show, too. Cubivore is on the show. That's a weird one. So go check out all that. If you want to support the show, we do a Patreon. You'll see a link in the show notes. Please join our Patreon. Little as $1 a month. And also, we have a Discord. Please join our Discord and chat with us. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Helena Halfyear. You can follow her on TikTok. You'll see a link in the show notes of her link tree. Also, want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Tucker. Started his home podcast, A Gamer Looks At For You. So go check him out too. And please listen to Nomads of Fantasy. Oh, and please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube audio only. But we are on YouTube. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Enjoy.